What up, y'all? Appreciate you showing up, hanging out, listening to my dumb ass. Like and subscribe. So, I've had not a lot of comments, but some comments. There was one in the last video, and there was one video a couple videos back, maybe a handful of people saying, now these are probably ponies or donkey unicorns so it doesn't really make a difference. But they say, this dude probably don't even play no games. That's what, that's supposed to be a dig or something at, I don't know what saying that proves. If my points are valid, then that's an irrelevant dig, if you will. But I do play games. The latest game I have been playing is Avowed, because it's on Xbox. And ponies and donkey unicorns aren't playing games. Y'all don't play games because y'all ain't got no games to play. Just saying. But let me talk about Avowed. I don't talk about video games that much as far as the games being played. But I want to talk about Avowed because it is a representation of the quality of games that are welcome, let's just say. Now, Sony for years has trained their donkey unicorns, their ponies, their equine constituency to laud and to praise a certain type of game. A cinematic gameplay, mid, let's be real, mid gameplay, cinematically looks really good, presentation great, but gameplay wise, it's alright. And this is their formula. Name me a Sony game that doesn't have the cinematics but just has the gameplay, and the gameplay is banging. A first party Sony game that the gameplay is banging. Now some may say, oh, Returnal is kind of, I'm like, oh, I mean, I've never played Returnal. I've seen Returnal. It's just a third person hell shooter. It's not. That's not what that means. Bullet hell, there it is. But there aren't that many because they only invest in one type of game, and every other type of game that they try to invest in fails, or fails spectacularly, or fails historically bad. There's no, they've tried, and I guess the lesson they learn is that, oh, we can't do nothing else because we suck, so we're just going to stick to this. We're going to stick to what we're good at. Too bad that type of game, while impressive in certain aspects, is not going to get them dollars. It's not going to get people playing that game for 10 years, because that's not the games they make. Now, Avowed is not one of those games either. Avowed is a single-player game. I don't know if it started off as single-player. The rumors were that it was a multiplayer, live service, blah, blah, blah. But whatever it used to be isn't now. It is what it is now, and it is a single-player game. And there's a few things, there are many things that are I have questions. I'm like, wait, how? First is, how did they do, how, I can't even speak. How did they make it so that the draw distance is such that I see no LOD at all? I'm looking for popping, I'm looking for all kinds of stuff. Nothing. It's all solid. I'm playing on Xbox Series X, by the way. And I did have it on quality mode at first, and I was like, then I put it on performance mode, and I said, yeah, let me stay here. Because I was like, well, what's the difference? It was and it wasn't really a big giant difference. I think there was a difference in, I think the hair was a little bit more rough, if you will. Or I don't know, it's just the hair rendering was a little bit not as nice. Besides that, textures maybe, but I can't really tell, because they would have to be a side by side. You can't just look at, oh yeah, textures are more clearer, maybe, but overall frames, right? So anyway, I'm playing like that. Plus, when you're in combat, you want the frames, because you gotta be like, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, the LOD is ridiculous. I'm looking at something way in the distance, right? And I'm walking. I'm waiting for it to switch from the low LOD to a higher. Doesn't switch. And I'm like, wait, is this that miraculous, mysterious mesh shading that they were talking about? Is this kind of like what Nanite is, but it's Xbox's version basically? I was like, I mean, it kind of reminded me of Hellblade 2 a little bit, with how there's no popping, there's no LOD changes, none of that. It's just comes and it's like boom, crispy, clean, colorful, and the world, like the world detail is such that you look at it, right, and you're like, everything looks beautiful, right? The only way you can say, oh, those are polygons, that's a model, okay, it looks like a video game, you got to go point blank range to like some vines or something. You're like, vines, okay, there, I see it, but then you work with it, it's like, oh, it looks like vines. It's so good. The graphics are so good that it's like, it's crazy. And I'm thinking to myself, this is quality. This is different quality from what Sony does, because Sony's quality is based off of cinematic presentation, not just pure beauty, pure design. You know what I mean? Art design and all that stuff, set design, however you want to call it. And I mean, yes, they have that too, of course. You know, God of War, I think, is probably one of the best games to do that. Not of Sony's games, to have a nice art design, art design. But you know, you look at certain other things in like God of War or whatever, and it's all right, but it's not super dope fly. You know, and it's an older game, so you know that's what's up. But excuse me. But yeah, the graphics are crazy, and the world. Okay, so I keep hearing, what does Dreamcast guy say? That knucklehead, Teethcast guy. He said, oh, it's like a 16-hour game. It's got permanent static now. Somebody in the chat, I made fun of his teeth. Somebody in the chat was like, yeah, it takes about 6 months for the pain to go away or something like that. I was like, hey, well, I guess we got 6 months. But anyway, so the world is, oh yeah, Dreamcast with the 16, he's full of shit, okay? That game, I don't know how many hours, I'm probably close to 16 hours already, maybe not, maybe 8, maybe 10, but I haven't left the air, I'm still, okay, there's the town, I forgot what it's called, and there's different sections, south side, east side, north side, you know, deluxe apartment in the sky, all that stuff. There's all different sections, right? And I thought I was just in the main side. I was like, oh wait, there's Shantytown. I went through Shantytown. And I was like, wait, I gotta go meet what's his name in the pub. And then I get the side quest here, side quest. I'm like, yo, I haven't even explored the whole city yet. I'm hours in. Remember, I took an hour to make my character, which is ridiculous. So this game is so densely packed that I'm kind of spoiled. I'm like, look, if every open world game doesn't do this, then you're wasting my time. I don't want to have to walk for 10 minutes through nothing to get to a chest. I'm in Avowed, right? I'm in Avowed, and freaking, I'm looking around. I was like, oh, oh, there's an alley there. Oh, there's a ladder there. Oh, there's this thing I can climb up. I bet you if I climb up there and climb it, and there might be something. Bam, I do it, there's something there. Oh, look, there's a little place, that's where this latrine is. That's where the sewage is. Okay, let me go down there. Another thing. Oh, look, I can jump on the roofs, and then, oh, there's an open window. Let me climb through that window. Chest. Man, there's chests everywhere. I'm like, man, if you think it's going to be there, go and find it. Go and search and you'll find it. Because they must have been reading everybody's mind, because they're like, oh, let's do this and let's put chest here. It's so, and that's just like Shantytown. That happens everywhere. And you say, oh, look, I think I can break that wall. Break the wall, boom, another chest, lockbox. It's like so many bips and bobs and treasures. And I'm like, yeah, this is that game. And it's kind of better than like Assassin's Creed, because Assassin's Creed, you get the map and then it's like, oh, here you got to just go in the map and then you find it. It's different because you're actually exploring, you're going, and it's intuitive. It's like, oh, yeah, you would naturally kind of, let me go around this corner and see there's probably something under this bridge, or there's probably something, you know, behind this door, and this, you know, this is locked, so I got to unlock it and get some goodies. And that's just exploring around. That's just the getting loot and stuff. That's cool. Now, the other aspect that I like is the upgrade your weapons, right? So I'm like, okay, I'm not super into menus and all that stuff, but I'm like, I need my weapons to be better so I could beat these lizard fools. I need these. I fought this one dude. He's a big giant dude. He came out because I was trying to get some information about the poison that killed me. Spoilers, not really, but spoilers. This is part of it happens like right in the beginning. And what was he? I forgot what he was. He wasn't a merchant, but he was like whatever. But he was getting bullied. And then the bullies, I was trying to talk through it. Like, yo, man, come on, why don't y'all just chill, whatever. Blah, blah, blah. You don't tell us what to do, blah, blah, blah. And he was kind of the same race as Kai. And Kai was like, y'all better chill. And I went through all the dialogue. I exhausted every option. They were just like, sneak, we going to fight now. I was like, oh, great. So I had to fight him and a couple of fire dwarves. I hate them fire dwarves. They're annoying. But I think I got a better weapon now so I can beat them easier. Because I ran into them in the woods near the mountain a little bit. And it was some cliffs. And they beat me. I had to run. I was like, I can't fight y'all. Because I thought it was just one. And then like two others came out the little cave. I was like, no, we're not doing this. So I died, of course, again. And I ran. I said, I'm going to just go around sneakily, quietly, and not alert these guys until I come back and whoop there. Anyway. So I'm fighting this dude that looks like Kai, but it's not. It's probably his cousin or something. And a couple of fire dwarf dudes. And then this dude comes barreling out the side of a building. Boosh! Rah! And I'm like, he's big. And he's got a real giant health bar. So I'm like, oh, great. He's the boss. And so I forgot what his name. He was like the boss of the hoodlum town or whatever it's called. And so he whooped my ass about 3 times, and I was like, you know what? I need to change my tactics, because the thing about Avowed is that you just can't sit there and go blow for blow. You got to strategize. You got to dodge. You got to use some magic. You got to use some sword, some shield. And so I was running a lot. I was running a lot, and I was just trying to not to die. I was trying to do, like, the first 2 times I fought him, I tried to do just magic. That didn't work. So I did a combination. I hit him with the fire, get that, damage over time. And then, I switched to sword and shield, sword and board. And then go bang, 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 heal. Hit him with some electricity, hit him with the fire again, put up my super shield, my magic shield. I was doing all the tricks, and I finally got him. But and the thing about the bosses in this game is that whoever hits them draws the aggro, which makes sense. So it's like Kai and the other dude, the other dwarf dude, I forgot his name, Merrick or something, I don't know. And they were fighting him and they were drawing the aggro, but I'm like, they're not like doing any damage really, because I really haven't upgraded their weapons, because I haven't really upgraded my weapons. So I'm in the process of doing it anyway. So I was like, I would hit him, and they'd be like, oh, you want some? And they'd be like, I gotta get out the way, oblivious, or whatever. I don't know. I'm making up my spells. Ridiculous. And he turned into a little teddy bear. Anyway, so yeah, the fighting is really good. I didn't think, like, when I compare the fighting in Avowed to the fighting in Skyrim, dude, no comparison. Avowed destroys Skyrim's battle stuff, because I remember it was Skyrim's battle. Let's be real, it's clunky. It's clunky. And the thing is, like, you have the choice, like in Skyrim, first person or third person. And I find that the first 2 or 3 or 4 times, whatever I fought it in first person, right? I was like, oh yeah. And then I switched to third person for like 1 time, and that didn't work. I was like, this is worse. For some reason, it was worse. I don't know. It's like the distance gauge was different. It wasn't different. It was just I perceived it differently. So I was like, it's kind of easier for me to dodge when I'm in first person, which doesn't sound like it makes sense, but it did. It did for some reason. I guess I got just used to doing it in first person because that's how I did it in the beginning. Anyway, fighting is dope. The whole mystery about your assassin and all that stuff is kind of dope. And like I said, I'm just in the beginning. And I'm like, this is like this is a game. And I look at the map, and I'm like, you look at the fog, I'm like, I barely scratched the surface. And that's why I hear people like, oh yeah, I spent the first 20 hours in the first little I was like, I can see why. I'm like, there's mountains, there's snowy mountains, there's volcano in this one. There's I think there's poisonous swamps inside. There's all kind of biomes. I'm like, man, I'm gonna be playing this for a minute. And I'm probably gonna miss some stuff, because if I do a complete, like, let's do it for real all the time, everything playthrough, I'm gonna be playing this for hundreds of hours. I know, but it's dope. It's good. Avowed is like, and the thing is like Dorkcast guy, he said, oh, it's more like a double A game. It's not really a triple A game. And I'm like, why? Because the studio isn't 2,000 people, or because the studio is capable of doing work where Naughty Dog and them have to hire all these artists to make their games look pretty. Just saying. Microsoft is doing something right, because they got smaller teams, smaller budgets. They're putting out these bangers. And, they're not getting high scores because of the Xbox tax. So I would say at least 5 points plus, possibly 10 in some instances. For, like, Avowed should be a high 80s, maybe even a 90, but I would say a high 80s. It was at 81, I think, the last time I checked, so I haven't checked in a while. Which is not bad, but it still should be a couple of points higher, because for me right now, once again, I'm not even deep into it. 85 easy. Just based off of, like, because what it feels like, what Avowed feels like is how Mass Effect felt with the different, because I only have Kai and Merrick, I think that's his name. I'm bound to get more, of course, but those are the two, and just with those two characters, I'm like, yo, this is, I got my little crew, you know what I'm saying? I got my little dwarf, he knows the land. I got Kai, he's strong and stuff. I'm good, yo. This is all right. Let's keep this going. We're in the mystery. You're gonna find out who's trying to get me. You know what I'm saying? Nobody like me. I got mushrooms growing out of my face. This is great. Now, I killed the bear. There were 2 bears, which it wasn't as hard as I thought it would be, but it wasn't super easy either. And like I said, like the design, just the environments, it just feels different. It doesn't feel like, oh, this is Skyrim knockoff, or this is Kingdom Come Deliverance knockoff. It doesn't feel like any other game like that, even though it is technically. It's a fantasy role-playing magic type of game, right? With magic. But it feels different. It feels like it feels like how Mass Effect feels like a sci-fi game, but it's different in a way. I think it feels even more different from Mass Effect being sci-fi versus Avowed being fantasy. I think it feels even more different, even though I did fight some skeletons. They were all right. But it's like I'm looking at this game and I'm thinking, okay, like, what did they have to do to change? And I heard that they were supposed to be open world all the way instead of open zone. I'm like, if that's one of the caveats that they had to do in order to make it how it is, like just super detailed, densely packed, do open zone. Because basically all it is loading screens between, the different zones, obviously, but the zones are pretty big. I mean, they're not tiny, but they're so densely packed that you can, if you run through it, sure. But if you go and explore, you're going to be there for a minute. And also, another thing that's brilliant and a choice for quality of life is that you can fast travel through your map. So once you discover a place, once you discover one of them beacons, you be like, you go to the map, boom, fast travel, yep, let's go, boom, you're there. And it's just the same load time as a regular loading screen going from zone to zone. The same exact time. It felt like the time. I didn't time it, but it felt like the same. And so, maybe that's because I haven't, gone all the way across the map yet. Maybe it'd be longer that time, but I don't know. I mean, Xbox is pretty fast. Them load times pretty fast. But yeah, and you know, you go to camp, you hook up your weapons, you do all this, you do all that. You talk to Kai, you talk to Merrick, and it's one of those. It's a game. It's a gamer's game. It's a game, not a freaking interactive movie. And the graphics are beautiful. Character design beautiful. I would say some of the faces are, but I like it. I think it's a little bit better than Skyrim, Starfield. Starfield is good, but I think that Bethesda, like you can tell it feels like Fallout, or it feels like Elder Scrolls, like how the camera zooms in and all that stuff. But this, the camera is sometimes off to the side, so the characters are looking off camera. They're not looking directly into the camera. So yeah, it's a bunch of different things that make it cool. Inventory is all right. I don't have a problem with inventory for the most part. It's not super duper inventory, but it's not like the worst thing ever. So it's all right. Trying to think. I think the magic is cool. I guess the companion, whatchamacallit, powers or whatever we'll call them. Those are cool. Their attacks, they're pretty cool. And I have magic missile, I think level 2 or 3 now. I think it's called magic missile or missiles. I forgot what it was. It's purple missiles. And that's pretty cool too. It's like, yeah, it's for I have a gun too, but I just haven't equipped it. I don't know why. I should probably equip it. But I think the complexity and the options that they give you for combat. I've never been that much into, like, I don't care about combat. I just want to kill the things and let's go, right? But now I'm like, wow, and you press Y, you switch your loadout real quick, go from magic to guns to swords or whatever. It's really good. It's a good ass game. It's a game, and it's a good ass game. So yeah, I mean, I'll talk more about it the more I get into it. Maybe a couple spoilers here and there, but nothing like major. Nothing like super spoilery, I don't think. But yeah, I'll talk more about games as I play them. I didn't really get into Indiana Jones that much because, well, Indiana Jones is like the lost movie that they never made. And so if you're an Indiana Jones fan of the first 3, obviously, then this is a game for you. If you're just like, if it's a game, then it's like, it's an 80 maybe. It's okay. Avowed versus Indiana Jones? Avowed's better. I haven't even played Avowed as much as Indiana Jones. Avowed is better. I want to play Avowed more than I want to play Indiana Jones. That's what I'm talking about. So let's go. But anyway, I appreciate you. Like, subscribe. Let me know in the comments below. Have you played Avowed? How long have you played Avowed? Where you at? Did you leave the girl in the jail in the beginning, or did you rescue her out? Let me know what you did. I rescued her, by the way. So we'll see what repercussions happen at the end or whatever down the road. And that's another thing about this game. The choices you make have consequences. So. But anyway, I'll talk to you on the next one. To the wave.